Let's have a conversation today about how a business owner, you, are doing your planning for unexpected events. This is a subject that almost no business owner wants to deal with because I hear this from the accountants who cater to them, the insurance people that cater to them, and other attorneys and other professionals who also work with those business owners. They simply don't want to talk about it. But this is important because most business owners, the business is your biggest asset. So what happens in the event you die? What happens in the event that you go skiing and you are in a coma because of an accident? What happens in the event that you have a long-term injury that's not going to let you come back? But if you don't plan, you are going to plan to fail. And your business is the biggest thing that you have to lose. So I can give you for instance, one of my clients had taken all of his team. He had a small team on a small plane, the business owner and 3 of his team members, and the plane got into an accident and crashed. Everybody perished. You know what happened to the business? It went out of business. You know what happened with what his wife received? Nothing. So that entire business caved as a result of not planning ahead. So I'm going to suggest to you that even if you are a startup business, even if you are a long-term business, this is a subject that needs to be dealt with. Incorporate into your strategic plan some form of an exit strategy. What happens if? After all, that's what your plan is. What happens if? And so we want to make sure that these things are covered. We want to make sure that your spouse is going to end up receiving sufficient funds out of this business to provide that income and that security that you're providing right now. If you can't be here, we want to have something else that's going to take your place in producing that income or that principal, so that he or she, your spouse, can live, appropriately in the same style to which you become accustomed. Isn't that what you want? We also want to, as part of this, we want to protect our key employees. So, how do we do that if they don't know what the plan is going to be? Sometimes I have clients who have family members who are involved in the business. Other times I don't. So how is that blend going to work? Are you intending that your son or daughter who is involved in the business is going to take over? You don't want to have conflict at a time that is very stressful when something happens to you. So deal with it. Give it your best guess. This is what you do every day when you're making decisions. You are the decision maker. So make a decision that's going to, protect both your family and your employees. Another thing I would suggest that you do is you always have to know who are the potential buyers that your family could go to, even if you don't have a full plan of what's going to happen. Give 2 or 3 maybe competitors, maybe their suppliers, that your family could go to sell the company if you're no longer here. That at least gives some form of safety net. Along with that, I would suggest that you go and have a valuation done of your business. It doesn't have to be an extensive one. It doesn't have to be a 40-page document. You are looking for a rule of thumb type of evaluation to know what your company is worth, how many times gross, how many times EBITDA, whatever it is, you have to know. And every single year you're going to be able to gauge where you are based upon that rule of thumb. That way, even while you're alive and somebody comes and knocks on your door and says, I'd like to buy your business, and they make you an offer, you're going to know whether to be insulted or you got the wrong buyer. So knowledge is power, and this is something that you need to do. So these are just several of the points, and you can see they're not that complicated, but they require you to make the decision as the decision maker. You're the business owner. So feel free to go ahead and make these decisions. They're not locked in stone. You can always change them as you go along and you get more information. But it's important to do in order to protect your family as well as your work family, your team.